just started a commission with my publisher. They are commissioning 4 large artworks from me, so I thought it might be cool to take you through the whole process. If you're a young illustrator or artist, it might give you a better understanding about how to present your work, and if you're not, I hope you enjoy it anyway. Okay, so I want to quickly show you. This is how I structure a pitch. So if someone comes to me with a brief, we give them ideas and we present it really nicely because that's like bare minimum. My publisher wants to commission 4 large artworks for their office space. I presented 2 ideas. So this one is based on a spread from the book, and up they went, but it's a little more detailed, focusing a lot on color and gradient with watercolor. This one's called Where the City Meets the Sea, and the idea behind this one is that like books transport you to places that you've never been or you never can go. So here's a little breakdown of what each piece is about, the concept and why I think it would be a good idea. Here's the reference images from my book. And so here's the other idea with a breakdown of the concept and why I think it'd be good and why it relates to Hachette. And here's the reference images. So I've got 4 terrains from the city to the sea. We've got this one here, which is basically a little town or city. It's probably going to be done in the style like this, but more refined. The forest, it'll look a lot like my prickly pieces. Got this desert piece. It'll kind of probably look like the rocks in this. And an ocean texture. I've never done that before, so I have to do some experiments. Today I'm going to be doing swatches. I'm not going to draw the whole thing for them, but give them a taste about what the layered look will look like. Oh wait, where is it? Do it over here, baby. She loves it. Oh, have a look. So cute. Oh, so it doesn't look like I've done very much, but I promise there's hours into this. It just is like drying time and so many layers. Wow. Wow. Wow.
Wow, wee wah.
You don't even know what I'm talking about.
You just looked at me and realised, damn, I got such a good hubby for a husband.
You're not my husband, you never will be. Wow! This is not sponsored. Wowbox emailed me saying, want some Japanese treats? And I was like, yes I do.
Hell
yes,
yeah.
I do. I don't know if you've noticed this, but a lot of our friends are in Japan at the moment.
Everyone is.
I don't like it. I don't like it one bit.
Notice it.
You read it. And make sure you say it in Japanese or it doesn't count.
You read this in Japanese while I do it.
Excuse me.
There it is.
I'm so excited actually. So in the mood for snack. What's the time right now?
Oh, it's perfect. It's only 2:30 AM.
Oh my gosh. Look how cute. I always appreciate extra packaging details. Eat the ones that we're least looking forward to first and the ones we're most looking forward to last. So I think they do like different boxes. This one's a kawaii beauty box, so it has like beauty items also. Lucky we didn't eat that because it kind of looks like a cracker.
I honestly thought it was like a rice cracker.
Okay, let's go some more. It's our future son selling our favorite snacks.
It is strawberry, that's for sure, and it is a biscuit.
I know what it is. It's a strawberry biscuit.
Oh, yes, of course.
I'm not usually a fan of strawberry flavouring, but I like it. It tastes like Pocky a bit, doesn't it? Next, I'm worried.
Rose, you don't like rose.
I don't like rose
really.
flavour. But hey, I'll try it.
Oh, they're cute. Should you show them? I don't know if you can see that, but they look like little pink clouds.
I'm not a fan of rose, so it's too florally for me, but the inside's really yummy, tangy.
It's pretty good, but it does remind me a lot of generic scent in bathrooms.
Once again, I'm not a fan of grapefruit flavour because once I had a medicine that tastes like grapefruit. It's grapefruit.
Oh.
Unless it's blood orange.
I like both. It's by Meiji. We love Meiji.
We love Meiji. Squish, 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 squish. Are they different colours?
No, they're all brown.
You sure? Mmm.
Damn, that is
good. We need to take note of this stuff so next time we go.
This is good.
Meiji never lets us down, never. Not even one time.
Yeah, we bought banana chocolate and we were like, nah, this is not going to be good. And we were like, I want it every day.
This is great. And then
So
those green tea drumsticks.
delicious.
If you watched our Mega Matcha Madness video, you would have seen those.
So
Okay, Rocket Life snack bars. Oh, it's white chocolate. It's white chocolate.
very good.
I see flavouring, so I'm excited to know this surprise.
Does it smell good?
Yeah, of course it does. Mmm, yum. That's really good.
I don't know what flavour that is, but it's good.
If you can read Japanese, please tell us what flavour it is. We're stupid English speakers and we don't know anything.
Awesome avocado and cheese.
Ha!
I love puffs and I love cheese and avocado.
Oh my gosh, I'm so scared.
This wow box is made for me.
I really like when boxes open like that. Smells buttery. Look, double-sided colour, green and pink. I mean yellow. I like it. Mmm. Hot tip, if it's cheese flavoured, I love it.
They're really rich for a chip.
Mmm. Is
Buttery.
it really truly made of avocado? If it is, that's like really good for us, I think.
I can assure you that the sat fat levels in this are quite harsh.
Huh? Pineapple and... Huh?
Is it dried pineapple?
It's dried pineapple, but also kumara, like sweet potato. Like,
Oh, no, don't tell me it's savory pineapple. No.
They wouldn't do that to us. I'm scared. Kumara chips, like sweet potato chips, and pineapple chips. First, let's taste the sweet potato. Mmm. Weird.
So pineapple leaf.
Because
Yeah.
they're mixed in.
You can taste it.
I kind of like it. I love the crunch. This has to be freeze dried or something.
That's a good crunch.
Try the pineapple, baby. 1, 2, 3. I like that.
That is delicious.
Approved! That was a good box.
It really reminded me of Japan. Like it made me think about being there. I'm subscribed to every mailing thing about Japan flights. So anytime the prices go down, I'm notified.
Georgie? Hey, Pennywise.
Pennywise?
I'm scared.
Me, Georgie.
I'm scared.
Determined to finish everything. I just am scared that it's physically not possible. It's freaking me out. I'm getting all these briefs for November and December. Yeah, I put them into like a shitty hand-drawn calendar. It's just still so stressful, but at least I've written everything down. Yeah. It's like some of the briefs that are coming through, the people were supposed to give us a brief in August. I also think I have like PMS at the moment, so I'm having trouble like processing everything. I just like feel like, yeah. So I've got my commission deadline on the 15th, and then on the 17th I'm going to Adobe Max. On the 31st Zoom comes out, and I need to do like content for Zoom for when it comes out. I've got 2 interviews to do with like online book publisher things. On the 1st, I've got that window painting job. Then on the 2nd, I have my launch. I still have stuff to prepare for that. The baby mat thing, we're hoping for like December or late November. And then I've got to do the wrapping paper for the galleries. So it's just a lot that's like everywhere. And then, oh fuck, I forgot we were even going to Singapore. I need to tell Chris that. I feel like just really emotional, I don't know why. Tiny meltdown over-ish. I'm going to put on some nostalgic like YouTube covers that I used to listen to. And I think that's going to calm me down enough so that I can work. Obviously, I love what I do, but it's just balancing everything can be really stressful. It is currently 5 a.m. I'm happy with my progress. Ignore the mess. This one's going quite well, but I need to do more details after I finish filling this page, and same with this one. These two will be done slower, but they will be done once they're filled. I am loving this. Ooh, yeah. Anyway, I need to sleep because I'll die otherwise. Good night. Here are what the gift versions of the book will look like. So they will be signed, wrapped, and every single pre-order, not just the gift ones, will have a little postcard from outer space, and I'm going to write little thank you notes on the back of them. I designed this yesterday just on Photoshop and got this little mock one printed just for the product photos, which we're shooting now for the store here. First we'll start with the book, then we'll shoot the printed one, some of the spreads, etc. Little potato weights over here, very cool, very cool. Some stars, we're gonna go get some confetti too, to make it look super festive. Oh, my love, my I'm hungered for. Oh, my love, my this wiki is like less expensive and more delicious.
Yeah.
It's like ordering it.
Delicious.
Right.
Thank you.
So big.
Yeah.
We can swap if you want.
No, thank you.
I'm happy.
Can we get barbecue sauce and some sriracha? If they have it. I don't want, maybe chairs only. This is cute. Oh my god, this is perfect. Can you remind me to show you something? I found something that might be good for the launch window, and also possibly that Barangaroo job, just to show them another option.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll think of the front and then the next room, like the one directly behind
Wait.
Stepped on me.
I didn't know where you were. I told you I should get the goggles.
Yeah, but you can open your eyes.
How's your commission going, Sha?
Good. We're just having a break because it's been 12-hour, 15-hour days. Hello, it is Saturday morning. I'm feeling really good today. I have just done an Inktober, so I'm starting those up again. Look how messy my workbench is. Sorry for being MIA with those. I just had to finish these. So this is finished. This one's done. This one has probably 2 more layers to go. See? And just the detailing on these rocks that don't have any details, but I am so happy with these. You know when you have an idea in your head and it comes out perfectly? That's what I feel like has happened. So these will go to the framers on Monday. Chris will pick them up on Monday when we have our weekly meeting. And god, I'm so sad. They were like my surrogate children. I like worked on them. I was aware that they weren't going to be mine afterwards. And then when I finished them, when they were birthed, I was like, I can't give these away. They're mine. I am going to Las Vegas tomorrow, so I need to prepare. I have so much to do before I leave. P.S. You can buy my book in my store, pre-order it, and it'll be sent to you as soon as it's out. Yeah, link in bio. What? Q&A time, guys. Yay! I am not in my studio, as you can see. I'm currently in Vegas. I'm covering Adobe Max as an Adobe insider. I wanted to make this vlog focused around the one commission, so I thought it would be appropriate to ask you guys if you had any commission related questions. Let's see what you said. I'm going to answer the most popular one first. So a lot of people were asking me, for example, how on earth do you figure out your pricing? And a lot of people were like, I wanted to ask this question too, and a lot of people had variations of that question. So basically, how to price commission work. It's a little bit hard for me to just give you guys a number or tell you how much I charge, just because it differs based on the size of piece, based on what materials I've used, based on how long I think it'll take. So my advice for figuring out how much you want to charge for a specific piece is actually to figure out how much you want to be paid per hour. So definitely no less than minimum wage. It should be more than that, because creative work is really valuable. So this is if it's a flat fee. So if you need to give a quote before the actual project starts. Hourly rate multiplied by estimated number of hours plus expenses, which is your materials, paints, paper, etc. You cannot be out of pocket for that. Plus shipping if you need to do that. Like, it's better to let them know upfront what the costs are than to drop it on them later, because they may just be pissed off because it may seem like you were kind of withholding that information. I would use this equation as a guide, because you want to also think about licensing. Where are they putting your images? How long will they use your images, etc. I hope that is helpful. It's also what value it is to you. So if you think that that is not enough and worth your time, you can bring it up. I would consider what the value to the client is. So if they have a lot of money and it's going to make them a lot of money, you can charge more. However, if it's like a small business, say you're doing a painting for a small business or like a logo for a small business, the value to client in that case is a lot less, because they have a lot less money to spend. They aren't taking in as much money. While this is a good equation to follow, I think you also need to be more intuitive on how you charge for people. How would you negotiate an art commission that is going to be used for a mass production project such as an album cover? What I like to do is give them packages. So this is how much it's going to cost if you're printing this many. This is how much it's going to cost if you want to use it for this amount of time. This is how much it's going to cost if you want to just buy it out for an unlimited amount of time and unlimited like copies. When doing commissions, are you ever worried the customer may end up not liking what you've done for them? No, just because I'm really thorough in terms of letting them know what's going on, making sure the concept is fully approved, sketches are approved, refined sketches are approved before I even start, just because you don't want to go down that road and then have them be like, that's not what I thought was going to happen. I would do as much planning, as much sign off as you can get in terms of color, in terms of subject, in terms of composition, in terms of medium, everything. Present them with as much information as you can before you begin, so that they have as little reason to be confused. Read this morning. Have you ever agreed on doing work for less than you normally get paid for just because you need that cash? I haven't agreed on doing work for less just because I need the cash, because I'm pretty good at saving. I do price less for jobs that I really want if the budget isn't large enough. Like, for example, if I say, oh, I want $2,000 for this painting, and they say I only have $1,700, and it's a project that I really want to do, then I will do that. You know what I mean? Like, you need to consider non-monetary value as well, like what it's going to mean to you personally, what it's going to mean for your portfolio, what other jobs it can lead to. As long as you're getting paid enough, then I think those factors can allow you to charge less than you maybe would with the equation that we spoke about. But for example, if I have a lot of work on, my prices go up. Like, my prices sway based on how busy it is. Summer is usually a lot more busy for me than in winter. If you really want the job, you can bring your price down. I don't think that's like something that's shameful if the client doesn't have enough budget. What kind of deadline do you set for yourself when you get a commission? Example, minimum how many weeks required. If it's client work, they usually have a deadline set and you just follow that. And in terms of how long it'll take for a like painting commission, it depends on the pieces. For example, if it's a small piece, it may only take a day. If it's I was editing the video before, which is why I'm pointing over there. If it's a large piece like you saw in this, it takes up to like weeks and weeks. So it really, really depends. Once you get to know your process, you'll get to know how long it takes and you can more accurately create a deadline for your clients. What do you do with creative block during the process? How do you manage to not get overwhelmed for the deadline? I feel like this project was not a good example because I had a lot of work coming in and I kind of had like a meltdown in the middle of it. I was stressed about how large the pieces were and whether or not I would finish in time. I was stressed about the fact that I had committed to doing Inktober, and on top of that I was getting briefs coming in, so trying to wrap my head around all of those things kind of made me have a little meltdown. But as you saw, like I took a lot of breaks. I made sure to do things that were outside of the studio because it's really easy to just stay inside all day for days in a row, and Rocket's really good with kind of being like, let's go out, let's get dinner, or let's go do this, just to make sure I don't go crazy, because he knows that I sometimes forget how important taking time off is when I'm in the moment. Obviously, I know logically that it's great to take time off and it's a part of the process to make sure that you're being healthy, but sometimes I forget about that when I'm working. Short answer would be go outside, do things other than the work if you can. Obviously, there's some situations where you can't, but do that as much as you can because it's going to make your work a lot fresher and make you work faster. What are some important points or terms and conditions that you settle between you and the client before beginning work? For example, if it's just like a painting commission, there's less to talk about, whereas if it's a client, you need to talk about like how long they're using the work, how many reproductions they're planning to make, if they're going to be leveraging your brand, timelines, blah 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 blah. So one of the good things about having Chris work with me is he handles all of that confusing stuff. We send out a written agreement beforehand, kind of outlining everything we've like discussed with them prior. So the deadline, the cost, the what is it called? The terms and conditions of how they can use that work, the fact that you still own copyright, which is in most cases you will still own copyright, just all of those things, put them all in writing first and get your client to sign them, and then you sign them. Oh, and something that you also need to do, or you should be doing, is putting percentages. So if you've done the concept sketches, they're going to pay you for sure 20%. If you've done up to, like, you finished all the concepts, all the refined sketches, and you've already started on it, they're going to pay you X percentage that you've done, so that if they kill the project, you won't be out of pocket. You will still get paid for the work that you've done. You could also put a kill fee, which would be a percentage of the end cost. Sometimes it's 30%, sometimes it's more, sometimes it's less. Just depends on what you decide. But it's good to have those in place and in writing, because then they can't back out or say no. Do you charge usage rights for branding projects like logos, website, banners, etc.? Yes, we started doing that a couple years ago. Basically, we charge for the work being done. Then we also put a price on top of that for the licensing of the images. So as I've mentioned, how long they're using it for, how many they're planning to make, the purpose of the image. Basically, like if they're buying it for a poster, they can't then randomly later put it on merch if they haven't paid for unlimited use. Have you ever had the moment where you don't have any works or commissions to do? Of course, yeah, definitely. There's always slow months. I'm lucky that I am in a position where I say no a lot, so I really just take on the work that I want to do. And I'm also in a really fortunate position where if there is slower months, it's not the end of the world. I still have income and I can still pay rent and buy art materials and food. How do you schedule your busy day with all the commissions? I don't usually work on more than one commission at a time. I think it helps to focus on one job at a time. I basically take each day as it comes and I work out my week on Monday. So I have everything that I need to do this week, and then I split it out into the days, and then if I don't finish it, I drag it down. I think I mentioned that before in another video. How do you deal with client feedback and criticism that starts edging on being unreasonable? It really depends on the criticism. Like if there's a miscommunication, that's sometimes a sign that you haven't done enough. Like you're the creator, it's your responsibility to make sure the client understands what's happening. It's also your responsibility to kind of make sure that they are communicating what they want in the correct way. So you need to ask as many questions as possible. And if you've done that and it's all in a written agreement, then them kind of moving outside of the boundaries that you've set, or like the agreement that you've set is them needing to either pay more or you just referring back to the written agreement. If you had to pick, would you label yourself as a commission-based artist or a social media artist? Neither. I would just say I'm an illustrator. I would never refer to myself as an Instagram artist, and I wouldn't refer to myself as a commission-based artist because I'm not just doing those things. I do work for myself. I have an online store, I have an illustration business, and I do like social media work too. I have to go and do some event stuff and check out the cool pavilion that they have here. I hope you enjoy this vlog. I kind of liked focusing on one project at a time, but I'm not going to do that all the time. But I'd really like to know what you think about that, so let me know in whatever way you want to. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye! Bye bye bye!
Gumbo.
Just a casual snack.
It's a good healthy snack.